Hello and welcome to my the day three coverage of the Call of Duty League qualifiers for the NYSL Homeland Tournament, which isn't really a LAN, but we are going to be covering this very quickly because this was a 9-hour event for 3 matches due to delays. So I don't think you want me to go skimming and scanning through all this and trying to do do an actual analysis. Uh, Qualifiers are what they are. As long as we know where teams place, how well the teams did, what happened, at least for the most part, we will get this done smoothly and quickly. The first round was a hard point on Tuscan, London versus LAG. There was a couple of listenings. There was a listening on the LAG side. On the LAG side, they actually didn't calm very well. Their comms were okay. They could have been better. Some people like Neptune were and I forgot this happens. Skip ahead. Screw it. Right there. Sounds good to me. On the comm, actually, I think I went basically right to it. Yes, it is right about here.
Winning the gun.
Nope. Yeah, I guess I missed it. Anyways, point is, but their comms just weren't the best. It definitely felt like Neptune could have been communicating better. Hoog was doing all right. Slasher seemed at times a little quiet. Overall on the team side, I didn't hear much of Spart either, but they were calming where people were, but they weren't calming where themselves were going. And a couple of other things that I very much definitely could have been needed to be pointed out on P1 Hill when those guys were making their moves. But a few fault plays by LAG and London, both on their sides. LAG makes P3 into a brawl around this time after this hill. And P4 London gets a good initial hold, which is about here. And they hold it for a little bit, but then LAG is able to break in again, and London ends up making a great rotation. London struggles to keep the point is my biggest situation or biggest problem that I have with this team in this game. Spark going off for a double kill there. I will roll back the footage for you. Actually, he ends up getting 3 in this situation. I'll actually roll that back so that way you can see it. There, you're not able to see his point of view, but you're able to see one of the kills. He gets him around the little church table, and then you're able to get 0 here. But London was making great rotations. But London, even though they come out with a dub on this match or on this game mode, they very much struggled to keep their points, and it shows by the fact that the match was this close for as long as it was. P5, they were able to gain a lot of time on the P1 as well. I think P1, actually. Wait, I'm trying to remember now. Again, bear with me. This was a long day. Even here, it was a struggle. They rotate the P1. And I think they get the majority hold from on this point. They get the 225, 219. Really just gorillas trying to hold them off, but Toronto getting that 3 right there, trying to get them off the point. Afro trying to make a move. 0 gets the kill for the trade. Gizmo holding it down. And I did do the player of the games for some of these matches, but then after the first round of the Optic one, I kind of gave up, and I don't remember if I did all of them for this London match. But we will see. London ends up closing it out. They end up getting pretty good holds towards the end. My player of the game for this one was definitely Gizmo. He had a 33 and 24 with 27 non-traded kills. 27 in a minute 53. Gizmo. Very much a vibe, very much the centerpiece of this team and what they needed in order to come back as a team. I feel like without Gizmo, this team would definitely have its problems. We move on to the search and destroy, and that was actually very much shown when they had a sub in for him when he was taking care of his family issues. Bokage is the SMD who makes some plays Top grandmas, actually, here. I will let you see it. Hook, very patient, waits. And I didn't know you could really see like this at the top of grandmas, but Hook making a play top grandma there. He ends up going back if I'm not sure. Otherwise, I don't know why I'd write this in my notes. But because of Hook, they get a very good start, very quick start. And, I mean, London tried to get the bomb down, and they do. But Spark gets a kill here. Zero trying to make something happen. Nasty still alive. Zero ends up going top grandmas. He takes a bullet out of Spark, and then Hook gets Nasty out. And Zero also dies. LAG gets the round. Nothing else really about this besides that Ravens absolutely absolutely messed up on some of these. LAG basically surround. Alright, as I was saying before an ad popped up, there seem to be some struggles on both ends a little bit from time to time from both of these teams. London ends up coming out and doing the best that they can here. Afro, a little iffy in this one, if I remember correctly. Let me go back to my notes. Yeah, it definitely looks like that is the case. Ravens come out on top, and Zero just outgunning this team, doing the best that he can. I think Zero is actually the person that brings us back for London Royal Ravens, for the most part. Zero, major cornerstone for this team. I think his ending line was 6-6. I might be wrong. I might be thinking of a different one. Nasty, I'm pretty sure if I was correct, had the better stat line overall, but Zero's overall play is what did it for me. I'd honestly give Zero my player of the game on this one. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of Gizmo. Again, it was a very long day. London bring it back 2-2. 0, 1, and 3 right now. Maybe 0 is proving me correct. Gorillas 3-2 right now. There is something that I did want to talk about on this round 6 coming up. Oh, no, I did want to talk about this, actually. Where Ravens rush plant A right here. You guys can see it. Not necessarily rush plant. They wasted some time, as you can see. But once they get the opportunity, they rush it. Or no, it wasn't Ravens. Wait, I meant LAG. Sorry. As you can see, Slasher coming up on top. I don't know why I have it in here, Ravens. It's obviously LAG, but that planted. But Slasher doing the best that he can. Nothing that he could do here. Zero was just prepared to flank here and was aware of Slasher's position. Did the best that he could in a bad situation, and London able to bring it 3-3. Very quickly going over this. I think we can just skip this from here on out. I did want to show something, but London end up coming back 6-5. Very close match. Both teams, like I said, struggled on this. Control, absolutely, just Gorillas had their way. Ravens are just not a good control team, but everyone is aware of that, including themselves. I think this is actually where the delay happens. No, it is not. As you can see, London is currently trying to get onto site. They are on the offensive. They were able to get A. Right now, Afro doing all that he can, trying to make it work for this team, but this team just is not good on control, and that is the overall. That is the storyline of this game is Afro. 13-3 at this point. just trying to get something going for this London Royal Ravens team, and the team really can't get it going. You see Nasty 1-8, you see Gizmo 1-8, 0-4-8. Afro is very much the outlier, with Gorillas only having one person being negative, which is Spart. Everyone else positive by at least two, or by at least two being Slasher. Hook, a man on a mission in this control. This man wanted this dub in the control. 11-6 at this point. Hook getting kill. Neptune, Slasher. Afro getting Neptune out. Hook 12-9 at this point. And this isn't where he even goes off. This is where he starts to pick it up when they try to go in the offensive here, get something going for themselves. But it's after this round where he really picks it up, and you can see it. 14-9 right now. Neptune trying to watch the back. Spawn. Spark with a kill. Neptune with a kill. Hook going down by Afro. Or get killed, sorry. Slasher Spark right now. They're not aware that Zero's on the flank until now. Even now, it's like they don't even care. They want the point. Aggro. Straight to the point. Do not care. But Slasher, this is a misplay by the Gorillas here. They obviously know... Oh, wait a minute. Well, let's look at this. Zero is on a flank. He is aware that they just pushed them all out on a respawn. He goes for the flank, heads up play. This is the smartest move I have seen. One of the smarter moves I have seen be done in the CDL, at least this year. Jeez, this heads up play by Zero. And the absolute... I don't know what happened here by the Gorillas. They just act like they are not aware Zero is behind them at all. I don't know how you mess up that call out, thinking that Zero's in front of you. Maybe that's what the call out was. But if that's the case, that is an awful call out, especially because of the fact that there's no way he's dying here. So Hook had to not have said anything here. More lack of communication, definitely from the ZLAG squad, which is causing problems, definitely for them. Might be part of the reason why they are struggling and just starting to find success. Hook 19-12 right now. 22-13. This man still picking it up. This ends up being, if I am correct, a 3-0? Yes, a 3-0 from the Gorillas. And this is really where the Gorillas start to pick up their pace, start to bring it back. And next is a hard point on Berlin. London right now, as you can see right here, they have 4 wins in this major so far online. But Gorillas end up changing that very quickly for this team. And this is actually where we get the delay. And here we are, jumping into the hard point very quickly. Nothing much to mention here. Ravens just could not... It seemed like... Oh, wait, no. This is, again, a replay. See, this is a problem. Okay, we are on hardpoint now. It is on Berlin. I don't know why I didn't realize that was Tuscan. Long day, and this is the problem with trying to review things. If you ask me right now, this was a back and forth game by both of these teams, and it's hard. This is a hard point. I don't want to really talk much about it. This was back and forth the entire game. As you could see, look at this close. In both hard points, both of these teams could not really gain the edge. London looked better at times than the Gorillas. It looked like that we're gonna run away with it at this point. From time to time, they're up 190. This is where I thought the game was completely over, where Gizmo is just going off, trying to get stuff going for this team. Zero playing well, and you look at this in hindsight. This is at a 67-point lead that keeps increasing at this very moment, and you just think there's no way the Gorillas bring this back. But in hindsight is hindsight. And Gorillas just bring it back. They are able to hold the London Royal Ravens off the majority time of this P4 and able to get time onto this P5 as well. Very crucial for their comeback. If I remember correctly, they are able to break the 200 mark. Just shy of the 200 mark. And right now, as it looks, Gorillas have the hold, but London, quick to very much get in there, get some kills, and try to break this up. Zero with another heads-up play, trying to break them from their spawn, playing in fire. But this is the problem. This is the problem here. And I heard the takes on this one. I agree. Let's watch. I agree and disagree from Aches, and I agree with Nasty, but disagree with Nasty on this. Or not Nasty, Zero. So Zero right now is in fire. He is playing in fire, or playing in double stairs. Gonna rotate to fire. They see that they take 2 down, 3 down, 1 gets in, but as you can see right here, as he's here, Neptune is still alive on the outside. I'll point him out right here if you can't see him. Neptune's right here. 2's taken out eventually.
Nobody's picked this up.
Neptune takes out Gizmo right here. And then he's able to take out Afro, setting them up to just go off, and Neptune then gets Nasty. This isn't a bad play at all. You can't act like it isn't by Zero. He's able to hold them off from getting the push by pushing their spawn. That's what his goal was. That's what he was doing. It works. He's able to get number 4 killed and keep them back a little bit. But the problem is the fact that now Neptune has killed Nasty, so there's no one on the point. You're not going to expect your whole team to go down like that. So hindsight's 2020. In that moment, that's a good play. Is it the right play? Yes. Being a pro, that was the right play. You do not, and no offense to Neptune. This is no offense to Neptune. No shots at Neptune either. Not necessarily. I say this with respect. As someone that struggled to find his groove up until this point, you do not expect this man to waltz into P1 at the end of the game when you have 9 seconds left on the hill to take out all 3 of your teammates. You don't. So as much as I agree with Aches that you should be prepared for the safe play, you should be in that hill, you see too many times in this league where players just don't do that. They don't make that play. They don't make that call. So, hindsight's 2020. As much as Aches is correct, you don't see players doing that or making that call, and there's too many times where this ends up happening and you see these upsets and we're not able to recoup. I've seen it happen at least 5 times now, where it just folds on the team. Go back, watch some VODs. It's there for sure. Your teammate should not be going down 3-3. So, as much as I'm not a pro player or an ex-pro player, as much as I've watched competitive and put it into my own game, that was the right play by Zero there. I have no problems with that play. That was a smart play. This ends up bringing Gorillas back into this, helping them win, and we are just going to skip past that. I do not have a player. Oh, and we get another delay. So, now we move on. How do I keep skipping past these rounds? There we go. The 4-2 round, nothing much. Gorillas just have their absolute way with London. From here on out, it goes up, and Gorillas end up winning 3-2. It is what it is. You have a almost 4-hour delay in total. You're gonna be chalked. I cannot blame this team. Next, we have Optic Texas versus the Toronto Ultra, and I was wrong on the London prediction, and I am now wrong again with the Optic prediction. Yes, as much as I like Optic, I can be fair. And I gave him 3-2. It was a fair call. They choked. Absolutely choked. I don't have any words to say. I put down the pen after watching this absolute choke by this team. I don't know how to explain it other than it was an absolute choke. And I mean, let's just get into it. First map, Bokage. Here we go. Both teams starting slow. Neither team really wanting to get on to the point on this P1. Both of them just swerving around it. And it's the same thing going into P2. Neither team really wants to be on it. Neither of them getting on it. And this is the problem that I've had with Celium before. And like, look at this. I don't need to explain this. 4-2 is Dashy and is Scump and Illy right now. You have Shotzi and you have Dashy. As much as Shotzi has been playing very well as of late, because both the sub duos or our sub duo hasn't been on point. Someone needs to be on this point. Just someone. And right now you get Scump to do it for a little bit. But this man decides to leave. How are we getting time right now? It's Dashy. Then Dashy leaves. Then he goes back. Then he gets off. But then right here, you get Shotzi and Illy. Illy is just standing there like a cone. I get it, you're trying to watch something, but you have seen the same thing over and over again from Toronto. None of them are hitting this line right here. None of them are coming from there. Why do you think they're spawning there at this point? It's happened. I get it. You're cutting it off. Maybe that's why. Illy is trying to hold that site to cut off the spawn there to force him to the left. But the problem is this isn't effective if you're not going to have someone on this point. Shotzi at this point should stay on the point and make his move. Right there. Perfect. Now stay on the point. Don't move. But again, we move. Scump is holding down the point so that way no one is able to take it. I don't get it. I don't know what's happening here. I have it in my notes that they didn't want to get on the point, on second point for this one either. This is one of the major problems that this team has, is just getting on and off of the point. It's like, yeah, cool, you're getting the slaying, you're getting the teams off, and right now, Toronto is doing the same. They're just dying trying to get onto the point. But if I'm Bance, I get it. You're trying to hold off 10, make sure no one's coming there. Someone needs to get on the goddamn point. Like, if I'm watching this right now, we're just going for straight up engagements. This looks like a straight up gunfight. That's all this looks like. And I get it. You have to engage with the gunfight before you say it. But you also have to engage with the gunfight to make you have to make progress to the hill to get your team even any points. So the engagements will come when you try to do that. Shotzi with an amazing play there. I just wanted to cover that. In the end, Ultra end up losing this to Optic Texas, and they come out with a scare dub. I wouldn't say scare dub. They kind of run away with it for a little bit. They make it a little difficult on themselves towards the end. Here, Shotzi gets a kill. Optic gets a listen in. I mean, if we want, we can listen to it real quick.
Back window. You hit me up. Back window, last guy. Back window, last guy. Push on Lamar.
I got it done.
Nice, I got needed. Yeah, I hear that. You're targeting Lamar. Stay down. I'm gonna flank. Phoenix absolute. I'm flanking your side. Yeah, I'm flanking your side. I'll get Kitch. I'll get Kitch. Kitch. Tammy dead. Another guy's going back window, guys.
I hear that. Play my top.
Stairs. I hear you. I'm top. Dead. I have Lamar. They should.
What's Castle?
Yo,
Castle came
Lamar,
absolute. Castle
Lamar
came
dead. I'm back,
absolute.
I'm back.
Yo, what's back window?
Castle dead.
What's back window? He wants to click.
Yeah, back window, clean next week. Back
We
window,
over
clean
here,
next.
over
He jumped in,
there.
back window. I'm playing for some.
Back window. Back window. Doesn't get
Close kid,
back window.
nice,
Watch
chicks
it.
it.
Still, he's in the shot. Back window right now. Back window. Back window.
Nice, two time. Then make sure roll, guys. Make sure roll.
Back window inside. Back window inside.
Back window inside, really hurt. I hit it all.
Inside.
Inside, I can help you out.
Yeah,
Yo,
it's fine,
one
you
more,
will
no, clean
look,
next.
look,
Yo,
look,
two
look,
minutes. 2 minutes.
look,
We up right now. I'll play left side.
Yo, 2 mid street. 2 mid street, one
I'll
front.
throw detonate front.
From me front.
Trying to watch your front. Ivor front.
Inside to flat.
Are you?
He's first weak.
I'm trying to pick up that. I'm trying.
Small, absolute.
He's still there.
Nice,
Back door.
Nice,
We're gonna get the time. Throw detonate.
Mine's. Yeah,
Yep. Throw detonate.
I need to front.
one. Right two. Yo,
I
Cammy's
took
left.
the
Cammy's left.
Yeah, he's on the A stack. Dead. One more. P2, last guy.
I don't see him. I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you.
Just running in the back.
Dead.
Yeah, spawning back.
We're
Spawning back.
small. In the back.
In the back, yo, small and back door as well.
I'm gonna go from right, guys. Can you beam over me? Yeah, hear that.
There's nothing else, water?
But shut
I
that
don't
shit.
see anything in the back. Yo,
Okay,
I'm get the shot.
go,
Get the
go,
shot.
go,
Get
go,
the shot. Yo, back door bands. Back door bands. Back door weak. I'm here with you. I'm here with you. I'm back door. I'm back door. Front on me. And big door. Rotate. Just rotate right here, guys.
Yo, there's 3 ult.
Yep.
3 ult.
Try to make it mixy.
Well, I'll take.
All right. And as good as that sounds, that doesn't help answer any of my questions about the struggles of this team right now when it comes to hill time. Because they were on it there, and their comms were very good. They were holding it down for the most part. I don't have any complaints about the comms when it comes to reviewing them and the sort of play. But obviously something is still missing from this team because they end up losing to Toronto Ultra 3-2 and end up getting actually reversed here. They do. They end up getting reverse swept, which is hilarious to me because not only do they get reverse swept, they end up reverse sweeping Toronto in this Berlin. I have in my notes that Toronto just ends up having their way with this Optic team. I had it in my notes. They are defusing right now. They are up 3-1. Cool, fine. They end up winning the next round if I'm correct. And I think this is over. I think it's done. I'm like, cool. It is what it is. Right. This match is chalked. No. Nope. And this is where it starts. This is all where it starts. You are up 4-3 right now. Now it's 4-2. You get exchanged. It is now a 2v3. You have Shotzi playing in there. Bance is prepared. Shotzi gets him miraculously here. Shotzi is playing the bomb. Dashy's playing top facility. Or warehouse, sorry. Insight gets the kill on Shotzi. Shotzi. I didn't understand this necessarily right here. I get it, you're killing Cammy here. Don't shoot that unless you're positive about that. It gave Insight the information that he needed right here. Like, he was going to look here anyways, but that gave him the information that he needed, that you were right there. If anything, look and then run back. I don't know why he's risking his life there. But Dashy with an absurd clutch up right there. Insight got the first few bullets onto him. I don't know how he managed to do this. And, I mean, we can watch this unfold all the rest of the way, I guess. I do have on here... Yeah, I do have on here that Ultra basically have control of it. Which, it was true for the majority of this, but this isn't the big round that I want to talk about. Ultra end up winning that. You would think this is over. It's a 2-5 round. They need 4 more to win. But Optic, doing the impossible. Kleenex trying to find him. He finds one. He finds Illy. But he doesn't find Shotzi. Nope. Shotzi. Dashy with the frickin' 3-piece with the pistol to finish it. Dashy doing Dashy things going off in the 8th round. It was absurd. Dashy ends up winning their round 9 as well. Illy takes over in this round 10. And what he does is crazy. It all starts here. Illy gets the kill on the Kleenex, who was on bomb. Illy backs off just a little bit. Patient. Cammy trying to see what he can. Bance moves up, but Illy steals Dashy's kill. Almost kills. Could have killed Dashy if he really stuck to his point there, or to his shot there. But it's a good thing he didn't. Illy getting the kill on Cammy. Insight, the last one alive. And it is what it is. Illy just goes off, taking out this team. It is what it is here. Optic rush plant here and get the upset on Toronto. But that is the end of this love story for Optic, because Optic end up losing this very bad from here on out. And yeah, that's all we can call it. Just, they were not, there's nothing to talk about this control besides the fact that Optic just could not get on the point. And they had full control of this pretty much. Once Toronto had control of that, it was what it was. Optic gets 1 round out of this, and that's it. That is all. 1 out of the 3, and none of them. It's so odd to see that, being that control was one of their best modes, but you know, that's just how the cookie crumbles. Tuscan, hardpoint. Again, another situation. Despite a weak P1 at the beginning, Ultra gave up a site. Or, whoa. I mixed my notes here. Ultra have a great P2 and hold a rotation on the P3 with a great hold. That is the only notes that I read after that. Or read and wrote. Because Optic looked awful on this play here. It's just so hard to be an Optic fan right now. If you are one, this team struggling and continues to struggle. P5 is where it ends, and then we move on to the search. Optic try to bring it back, but it is nothing. They do the best that they can, as you can see, but in the end, Ultra have their way and win it for the team. And I'd like to make it known, it is an hour later for the next match. That is absurd. Alright, and on this NYSL 1, this is where it's going to end, because NYSL needs to win every game if they want to win and make it the champs. It's looking very grim for them. It is entirely possible, based on their placing, though, if every single team that is ahead of them right now doesn't win a match, they can bump all those teams back, if I remember correctly, is what I heard, or what I remember. So at least the 3 or 4 teams in front of them, if none of them catch a win, NYSL in their home stand can get ahead of them as long as they get, I don't know if it's all of their wins, but the majority of their wins. If a few of those teams win, obviously they can still get in, but if all the teams end up having wins, I don't think it's possible, from what I understand. So there will be a struggle for NYSL. They are trying to make this run happen, and they're trying to do the best we can. We skip the round win for the Thieves. I know. I skipped an SND that they win. Big whoop. But it is what it is. I'm genuinely nervous for this NYSL camp right now. It is going to be a tough win. If I had to and it's gonna be a tough way for this team to even make it to champs. Yeah, a champs without Krim is gonna be a little weird, especially with all these years that we've had Krim in champs. But I don't. It is what it is. It happens, but you know, I'm not even that sad for this NYSL team. As much as I'd love to see the story continue with this team making it the champs, that amazing story of coming back from the depths and getting all the way to champs and making a run. It just I feel bad more for LAG. I feel bad more for Thieves right now if they were to get kicked out. I would feel bad for Ultra as well, because those were great. Those were all good teams, at least at a point, or we know are good teams on paper, and like that would suck because this NYSL team absolutely fucking sucked. And I'm sorry for my language, but it was garbage. There's so much drama surrounding this team, based on rumors. Based on rumors and some information given to the given out. Apparently, Hydra was going to quit and up and leave, go back, go play challengers instead, because he did not want to be a part of this team. Like, that type of stuff, like, that's crazy. And as much struggles Thieves have had, I haven't heard anything like that. The only thing I've heard is that Kenny just doesn't want to be on a sub. And look at him now. As much as he still isn't on a sub as much, he's on a sub right now. So it's working. They won this game against NYSL. So, you know, more struggles coming out of this NYSL camp, but they do have the winner's bracket. Their LAN struggles are LAN struggles. We don't know if they will carry them on into the major. And their LAN struggles are more majors on their main majors. So, because they won the LAN Pro-Am. So, yeah. If I had to give my final thoughts on all of these games, I would have to say that despite how NYSL did, or despite how LA Thieves did, despite how Optic and Toronto played, both teams, I'm going to include both on this, and despite how London lost, or despite the fact that LAG won, more or less, to put it better, I have... my opinions haven't changed. I think London is still going to have this in the bag. They are without a better team. This is what the bracket is currently looking like. If I am correct, let me see. No. This is the points right now, because that was not updated as of right now. So, this is the points. Optic and FaZe both have them solidified. London is right behind. It's not solidified their placement. But, and apparently they haven't clinched a playoff spot. I don't know how the London Royal Ravens haven't, but I'd say they're comfortable where they are. I don't see them not having it. Seattle, I think they're comfortable where they are. Boston and Ultra are should be a little scared right now. Gorilla should be a little scared right now. Minnesota, I hope, take Gorillas out of this and catch a dub. I do. I hope they get in this. I like the Minnesota rocker. I like Attach a little too much for me to not see him in champs. This is what we're looking at right now. So, London Royal Ravens play Ultra. LA Thieves play FaZe. New York Subliners play Rocker. And we have the Boston Breach taking on the Mutineers, Gorillas, Legion, Optic, and Surge, all waiting to play their team that loses. And I don't like this tournament formation. I don't, but it is what it is. I'd say, okay, if I have this correct, it literally follows one after the other. And if I had to give my opinions, Ravens are moving on to round 2. They are going to face FaZe. LA Thieves is going to lose. Kenny has not beaten the Tiny Terrors since BO4, so I don't see that changing. Subliners versus Rocker. Both of these teams do not have good history on LAN. Like, major tournament LAN. So, I'm gonna say Rocker. Because even though on paper Subliner do look really good right now, and their maps line up very well with Minnesota, Havoc has been picking it up. Attach is Attach, and Pristini's also been picking it up. Up until their game against that one team. Even though I already named them. I'm not going to give them any more credit. But, I'm going to give the Rocker. I'm going to go with the upset here. I'm going to give the Rocker. So, we got Ravens, FaZe, Rocker. And then I'm going to say Breach. I have no faith in this Mutineers team. I don't. I just don't. So, I'm going to actually, right now, as it stands, I see improvement from Breach, and I see less improvement from the Mutineers. It just continues to show that the move that the Mutineers made was not warranted, and it doesn't work. Their 3 ARs move. I don't know why they decided to make the move. It makes no sense to me. Obviously, you saw it wasn't working. But it is what it is. This team continues to show me that they cannot work. And that there's dysfunction because Awakening tweeted, I don't know if he deleted it. If I find it, I will put it up on the screen, hopefully. But he put up, "You really think I want to be playing a sub out here?" What's that supposed to mean? Like, I get what it means on face value, but what does that mean in this camp? That doesn't sound good. So, yeah, that's a little worrisome if I am that Florida camp right now. I wouldn't know what to think if I was that team. But then we move on to the losers bracket. And I have... Okay, so if I have this correct then. Ultra would be facing Gorillas. If I'm correct. So I have then Ultra moving on. Then I think Paris is going to make an upset here. I think this is where Paris is going to thrive in this situation. Temp deserves one. And they're going to be facing the Thieves, who are the most inconsistent team. Legion are actually... Fuck it, I'll call them by their names. Legion are actually looking good recently. Actually looking good. I'm giving it to the Paris Legion. I say Donnie Temp makes it happen. Johnny picks it up. Jimbo picks it up. And Tom picks it up. I say they pick it up. I say they catch a dub. Then that leaves Subliners facing Optic. This is not ideal for me as a fan of this squad. But, with being unbiased, I think this is the 3-2 Optic. I'm not going to give the other ones. I'm going to say this is a 3-2 Optic, though. Optic is going to move on into round 2. Sir, like I said, as much as I'm not going to be biased and Subliners have had their number, I just cannot see, based on their continuous struggles, and if they lose to Rocker, New York making it through their own major. I can't. especially their previous performances on major tournaments. So I'm going to say the subliners are out. Surge versus Mutineers. Both of these teams are not good right now. Surge is a top 4 team if they are playing good, but this stage they have not been playing good. I'm gonna give it to Surge. I'm gonna give them another. This one I'm also gonna call a 3-2. Surge moving on, and that will be it for that one. We move on to the winners, and I am going to give this to, it would be Royal Ravens versus FaZe, and then it would be Rocker versus Breach. Okay, I'm going to give it to FaZe. I'm going to give it to FaZe as much as it pains me to say that, and then I'm going to give it to Breach. I'm going to say FaZe win 3-1. Actually, has FaZe lost? FaZe has lost twice. So in 2 different situations. I take this back. I take this back. I take this back, actually. I'm going to make it 3-2. Reverse sweep. Royal Ravens. From the London Royal Ravens. I'm going to call a reverse sweep. Is anyone going to see this or care? Probably not. But I'm calling it because I just have a feeling. Breach are going to win because, let's be honest, it's the Rocker. As much as I'd love to see the Rocker go further, this Breach team looks way too good compared to this Rocker team. Then that puts... If I have this correct, which I should, then goes Ultra, Legion, Optic, Search. So I'm gonna give to Ultra. I want to see Legion make a go at it for Donnie Temp's sake, but I don't see it happening. And if Mac shows up, and so does Sib, because Pred is going to show up. There's no doubt about it at this point. Surge is going to be Optic. I think if one of those two don't show up, though, Optic runs away with this. I say one of them show up, though, and make it a 3-2 for Optic, but Optic wins. So that is my next prediction. So I pushed FaZe out and Rocker out. Rocker would then face Optic, and FaZe would face Ultra. I'm going to say FaZe beats Ultra and moves on. They beat them 3-1. Let's call it how it is. Ultra just has not had a good time against this team. Optic then face Rocker, like I said. And Rocker are going to lose 3-1 as well. That is my call on that. Then Optic faces FaZe. I say FaZe comes out of this winning. I say FaZe finally gets the number of Optic. I will say that right now. In the manner of how many games, I'm going to say 3-1 as well. I think they're going to come out on a tear and want to get back into this. Yeah, I don't see FaZe losing if they make it that far. I don't see FaZe losing to a struggling Optic team as of recently. I could be completely wrong. So then we got FaZe showing up in the finals. And I could finally write their full name. And for our last matchup, we got the London Royal Ravens and the Boston Breach. London is going to be too much for this Boston Breach team. This team is too good. And they are going to beat them 3. It depends. It does depend. I'm gonna say 3-1. It depends on what the map is. I'm gonna say 3-1 because if Boston gets Gav control, even no, if Boston gets Gav control, that might make it interesting actually. If Boston gets any other type of control, it's a win instantly. But if Boston gets Gav control for whatever reason, and they want to play that, I will be shocked. Whether I don't know the statistics right now. Royal Ravens is worst control map. I know they're not good on control, but I don't know their worst control map. I don't like Breach on Gav2 at all. So Royal Ravens versus FaZe, and this is a best to 9 series, right? It's not best of 5, right? Yeah. So they would need 5 wins. Or is this 7? I don't know. I think it's 7. Either way. Ravens are going to win this with 5. FaZe are going to get 3. The Royal Ravens are going to be your winners of this major. This is going, if I am correct on any of this, I will be surprised. The only time I was right was the Optic major, and Optic won it. I didn't get all of them correct, obviously. I didn't predict anything. I just picked who was going to win. I was very much like biting my nails, not like actually, but like metaphorically biting my nails at times because of the anxiety of the fact that I didn't think it was going to happen. Like literally through FaZe's matches, I said that it's not gonna happen. FaZe aren't gonna, or Optic isn't gonna win this. FaZe just look too damn good. They're the best in the game. This is stupid. This is ridiculous. It's exactly how people feel about the Kansas City Chiefs when they watch them, and it happened. It happened exactly just like how it happened for the Kansas City Chiefs. I said the same thing about Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. I said, you can't beat them. You can't beat them. You're not going to win if you're the Cincinnati Bengals. And Cincinnati won. So, I think FaZe are too good to allow them not to be in the finals. I say they get into it again. It wouldn't surprise me if they win this one either. But at the same time, it's something about when they make it to the finals screams there's something missing. Someone continuously has to pick up the slack. I don't know if it's because you're playing so long. I don't know. So, but yeah, those are my predictions for the Major 4 tournament, or Major 4 tournament at the home series for the subliners. I will catch you guys and do a full overview. I don't think I'm gonna do each match day by day. I think that's pointless because of the fact that some of those teams are not gonna be in champs. I think I'm gonna do a very quick review on those matches and try to keep it shorter than what this video was. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, come back for some more coverage of the CDL for the NBA. And there will be a video shortly out on the Boston Celtics transactions for their offseason. And hopefully soon we get some KD news. The NFL, I will be talking about this Browns versus Carolina matchup very, very soon. But yeah. See you guys next time. Peace.